one of the possibilities in terms of why it might be difficult to let things go is the fact that we taking ourselves or our lives or our situations very seriously, right? So I am this person and I need to be such and such to have this and that in my life, right? So I am very attached to how I feel, how I react to things, what sort of things I am doing in my life, what sort of habits I have, what sort of plans and goals I have, how I interact with other people. So I need to be in a specific way because I am a serious person, right? Everything is serious in my life, and if I don't do certain things, if I don't stop being angry, for example, if I don't stop being scared about certain situations, I'm not gonna, I don't know, maybe I'm not gonna be liked, or I'm not gonna like myself, I'm not gonna feel comfortable. So I think this kind of attitude or experience, however you want to call it, it's one of the things that keep us very attached to certain things in our lives, because we take ourselves very seriously. Like, regardless of what decisions we make, it's a very serious decision and there are going to be super serious consequences, and then we are not going to survive the consequences. It's going to be so bad, so terrible in our lives that we can't face it. We can't face the uncertainty. We can't face the ambivalence. Once we kind of let go and allow ourselves to, take our existence in a general sense with this kind of grain of salt, that, okay, like if you take this more maybe like meta perspective on your life or the life in general, right? It is, full of absurd, full of, ridiculous things, ridiculous situations. So you see here, like you're taking at least a few steps back and look at your situation from this broader perspective, where you take into consideration bigger things than yourself. So a little experiment here. Once you start considering that right now in this present moment, how does it make you feel about your anger or about your problems? Isn't it kind of like letting things go? Because you start to create this distance between yourself and the object you are attached to, in a general sense, whatever that object is. Again, feeling, person, right? You start taking things, you start taking the steps back, and you take this more meta perspective on your situation. How can you stay really attached to all this, small and insignificant things when you take this bigger perspective, right? When you look at yourself and see, you're just trying. You are just trying your best, right? You don't even know fully who you are, right? You're doing your best to figure out what's the best way to live. But at the same time, everything is, it's a little bit like a playground. The whole life, the whole existence is a little bit like playground. Like you try one thing, okay, it doesn't work. I'm going to try another thing, right? And you're learning in the whole process. So for example, when you feel very angry or frustrated with something in your life, be it a person or a problem or yourself even, right? See what sort of, how does that emotion changes? How does that emotion change when you take that step back and consider a broader picture? Is it really that significant? Is it really that important? Is that person or is that problem really that important to feed it with all that energy? Is there, don't you have like some other priorities in your life, for example? So taking this step back, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I can feel here that I don't want to minimize your problems or anything like that. It's not about, saying that, oh yeah, that's insignificant or it doesn't matter. But it's about broadening your perspective, keeping the bigger picture in mind when you are feeling particular emotions, when you are, trying to solve problems. There's always bigger picture. But, the more you focus on a particular emotion or a particular problem, right, your vision narrows down and you stop seeing the bigger picture. So whatever emotion you're feeling or focusing on, whatever problem you are focusing on, it seems like, super significant, super serious. So taking yourself a little bit less seriously, I think it's a good step towards letting things go, towards learning how to let things go, because it enables you to take a step back and look at yourself from this perspective that, life maybe is not as serious as you think it is. Maybe you're not even as serious as you think. Like, you're trying to be super serious about things. But the fact is that, you can kind of choose to relax, to feed other things in your life, right? To pay attention to other things. And that kind of leads to this idea of, joy and humor, right? And having a little bit of fun. I know it's hard when it comes to things like that, maybe hurt us, but consider the bigger picture.